Story RH, the podcast that makes a long story short.
Welcome to all.
History is made of stories.
In this episode, we'll be taking a closer look at why becoming a data-driven company is a cultural challenge.
To be data-driven, you need data, digital applications, well-connected pipelines through which this new black gold can flow, and, of course, experts.
But that's not all. So, becoming a data-driven company, a cultural challenge, what's the story?
Two companies can have the same data and the same powerful tools without obtaining the same results. Data, and the tools used to process it, are shaped by our decisions. Their relevance and value depend on the corporate culture that guides them.
This brings us to a simple assertion: data is not information. Information is not knowledge, and knowledge is not intelligence. Even though we know intuitively that the quality of our decisions improves when we have access to relevant, useful data.
This applies to any established process whose efficiency depends on data quality but also on what we do with it. But let's go beyond this seemingly obvious statement. Having access to huge quantities of data doesn't mean you know what to do with it.
In other words, data experts have to work hand in hand with other departments, including professional experts, for example. Only by cooperating can they find a relevant way to use data for the business in question.
This means that the professional expert will need to develop a minimal level of data culture, if only to understand their potential and the resulting field of possibilities. It's only by investing in some technical data expertise that professional experts will be able to use it to reach their goals.
At the same time, if they want their expertise to be useful, data experts need to develop an interest in this goal and what's needed to achieve it.
Working together is about more than passing the ball without understanding the other person's endgame. Each person needs to understand the other's role and position, as well as the combinations they are involved in the collective project.
If they don't, they have blinders on and remain overly focused on their own expertise. It's as though each person is blowing hard into an organ pipe, but no one's bothered to learn the piece. It creates cacophony, not harmony.
When it comes down to it, there are really two prerequisites for success. First, the people responsible for decision-making need to have a basic data culture so they can grasp their potential and what is feasible to determine what the company should aim for and the projects that will get it there.
Second, the people who design and create the programs called for by strategic decisions absolutely must not consider technical data experts to be subservient to them. They are partners with whom they must work to reach a shared goal, which means they all need to understand the project they're working on.
These two prerequisites ensure that what you're doing with the amazing potential of data is relevant.
There's a third prerequisite, too. You know the computer science acronym GIGO, which stands for garbage in, garbage out.
In other words, data is valuable capital if you use it correctly. But, like all capital, it must be maintained. And this is the responsibility of everyone at the company.
Almost everyone uses data at work, either producing or collecting it, processing it, entering it into tools, checking it, and so on. In short, everyone contributes to maintaining the data capital.
And for everyone to properly do their part, they need to understand the history, value, and importance of the data for themselves, their colleagues, the project they're working on, and the company as a whole.
Yet again, it's crucial to cultivate a cultural minimum, data literacy. It takes work to learn any language, and the language of data is no different.
If a company doesn't fulfill these three prerequisites and lets itself be drawn in by technical expertise and powerful tools alone, it will likely encounter obstacles arising from human factors.
To recap, for a company to truly capitalize on data and digital tools, it has to first cultivate a cultural minimum on the topic for three different target audiences: decision makers, those who develop the policies and programs that embody the strategic decisions, and the workforce that rolls them out. Is that right?
Exactly right. Way to make a long story short. Story RH, the podcast that makes a long story short.